I'm David Lusby, and I've lived here in Georgetown all my life. I've been involved with city government for just over 25 years. My wife, Joy Lusby, who's the principal at Great Crossing High School, she and I have a passion for the community, and we like to see good things happen here in the community and try to help people. My parents instilled in me many years ago the value in being involved and being committed and essentially helping people. So I've been fortunate enough to be able to do that. The citizens have allowed that opportunity, and I hope to be able to continue. Yes, I have. I think those are some of the top priorities that the next council is going to be dealing with. We did just recently take a very positive step in dealing with this issue, and that was the passage of the 911 fee that allowed us to make some adjustments to the wages for the police, for the fire, for the 911 center employees, as well as it allowed us to give raises for other city employees. If I recall correctly, the study showed that the city of Georgetown was 19th out of the other 19 cities as it relates to the number of police officers per 1,000 residents. So we were essentially in last place. That's a huge issue. There are more and more problems that our police officers are having to contend with, as are other emergency responders. And that's something that I'm committed to. So putting the 911 fee in place was, to me, it was imperative, and there will be other things that we're going to have to do in this next administration to deal with those shortfalls. Obviously, it's going to be a decision that 8 people are going to have to come to a consensus on. There are many challenges that Georgetown is facing and they all come back to the economics. It seems like every time that there's an election, you all ask the question, the newsgraph asks the question, what are the top priorities? And for me, one of the top priorities is always the financial outlook for the city. It's the economics of the city, because without that, there aren't many other projects you can do. If you don't have your financial house in order, it's difficult to do these other things. The stormwater is definitely an issue that we've contended with since I've been involved in city government. And the money to take care of those problems has generally come out of the general fund. Occasionally there might be some grant money available, but for the most part, it comes right out of the general fund. Right now, we have $82 million worth of stormwater improvements in the ground that the city of Georgetown is responsible for. And if there's one thing that's inevitable, is the fact that they're going to need to be repaired, they need to be maintained and eventually replaced. We don't have a tool, we don't have a mechanism in place to deal with that financial shortfall. So a stormwater management fee is one of those tools that we're seriously considering, and other communities have already implemented that we're going to be evaluating in this next term. And as I become more and more familiar with it, I think as the rest of the council becomes more and more familiar with it, that may be the most valuable tool to deal with the stormwater issues. So the more things that we can look at like that, like the 911 fee, like the stormwater management fee, those kinds of things can take some pressure off the general fund. As you probably know, we're not bringing enough revenue right now to pave all the roads that we're responsible for in the city of Georgetown. I think it's estimated that we could spend about $1 million a year resurfacing and maintaining the roads that are in the city limits, and we're only bringing in about $500,000. So that money has to come right out of the general fund to cover that shortfall. Here within just a few years, the state is going to increase our allocation of money that goes towards retirement for our employees and for our emergency responders. And not in the next year, but in the next, let's just say in the next 3 to 4 years, that annual increase is going to be $1.8 million. And that's a huge amount when you look at a budget like the one that we have right now, which is essentially about a $21 million budget. In terms of revenue, we're going to be bringing in about, it's forecasted $21 million. The last year, the 2019 and 2020 budget, we brought in about $25 million, but we spent $27 million. And we really didn't have capital projects, we didn't have new employees. So, I mean, there was a shortfall there, and that is certainly something that we're going to have to address going forward. And fortunately, the city of Georgetown has a wonderful mayor. We have an outstanding finance director. We have phenomenal department heads and amazing employees across the board. And with their help, I know that we can address these economic shortfalls. I'd like to thank the Georgetown News Graphic for giving all the candidates this opportunity. And I would appreciate any support in the upcoming election and look forward to serving the community in the future.